Everybody, this is Ed Pogue. It's Boosting the Signal, and this week my guest is Johnny Cisco. And you're probably thinking, who is Johnny Cisco? But Johnny Cisco, in my mind, is the foremost expert when it comes to all things Greatest American Hero. I'm holding up a comic book right here. It's issue number 2. It is very literally the only thing I own of the Greatest American Hero, but I love it. Hey, Johnny, how are you doing, bud?
I'm good, man. How you doing? Thanks for having me. It was fun.
No, no, I'm glad to have you on here. I thought if anybody, I'm going to talk to anybody about superheroes, especially the greatest American hero, I'm going to talk about it with you.
I
And
appreciate that.
I'm glad we could schedule this out. So, what's going on with you? How's everything with you and your universe?
Everything's good. You know how it is. The holidays, lots of stuff happening, but now it's kind of over. So now things kind of chill for a few months. Uh, just kind of relaxing, getting ready to take a quick trip to Florida for a live podcast event and hitting Universal Studios for a day. But just kind of taking it easy.
Now, when you talk about going to Florida for a live podcast event, are we talking about the Major Figure podcast?
Yes, we are the Major Wrestling
Okay.
Figure Podcast. Yep.
Well, I was a little curious about that, how what the future of that was going to end up being with Matt Cardona going back to the Fed. I didn't know if that was going to be something that ended or whatever. So hearing you
Uh,
going there, that's gives a little bit of credence to the positivity.
from what I understand, nothing is changing at all. Matt is still heavily involved with the podcast. They have their company, Collect Major, collectmajor.com, but it's Major is the name of the figure company. They make the bendies and the big rubber guys. And I don't know if you can see it at all there over there on my case.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
but no, as far as I can tell, as far as they said, everything's staying like normal.
that's good.
So
Yeah,
we're all
my
very
bre-
excited to hear that.
exact. Well, my bread and butter when it comes to the entire reason why I ever started any of this was about figures and action figures,
Yep,
and tangentially, wrestling figures are a part of my world too. So yeah, I
that's
love
awesome.
that. I I was gonna
What do
say
you?
I actually used to have all my wrestling figures on display behind me during the podcast, but recently they're all to my right now, and
Okay.
so whole different display. But
What do you got in there? Anything good?
oh, mostly jazz wares. Like I've got, I can look over everything from Brody Lee to Hangman, CM Punk,
Ah,
Young Bucks, Danhausen's, Cody, CM, Hook, Jericho,
very cool.
FTR, stuff like that. I do have all of my original Hasbro.
Ah,
Oh, what were they
very
called?
nice.
Well, no,
Hasbro's.
I have the ones where the arms moved and they had the little ring. Oh, what were those
Yep.
called? But
Basically, they're
yeah,
just called Hasbro's. But yeah,
yeah,
I know what
yeah,
you're talking about.
yeah. I still got a crap ton of those. I have the only duplicate I have is Jake Roberts. For some reason, I have two Jake Roberts. Because you can never have
Good one
enough
though.
Jake the Snake.
Nah, never.
But yeah, and then I know for a fact you own the one figure that I tried to find the damnedest to find. There she is, right there. I'm telling you, any Star Trek fan and any wrestling fan would want that one figure more than any other figure simply for that. And why they never did like an MJF or, Brandy or even DDP, that would have been great.
I don't know why they never did them. I mean, this one was very rare. Maybe they had some licensing issues. You never know.
Could be.
Uh, someone maybe have given them. Honestly, in all fairness, this is actually not my figure. This is actually
Really?
Diana's figure. It's my wife's
Oh.
figure.
Well, I'm
She lays
very
claim to it.
Well, I'm very jealous of her then.
Nah, it's a
It's
great
definitely
figure.
one day, if you'll have to send me some high res photos of it. And
Absolutely.
especially for the podcast, I'd love to put that on screen for everybody. But
Definitely.
yeah, yeah, I remember when I saw that entrance when Cody and them came out and I was like, oh man, that blew my mind. I was like, that's it. I'm an AEW guy. What can I
Right
say?
up your alley.
Exactly. Well, not only that, but when Cody did his podcast initially, his Anything But Wrestling podcast for a short
Yep.
period of time, and his first episode focused on Deep Space Nine. and I was
That's
like,
right. Yeah.
I was like, oh man, and I miss that so much. The video is not even on YouTube anymore, which I really
Uh,
hate because, but he when he even had a Twitter page for that for a while, and I ended up getting a
mm,
follow from him, and I was like, this is the best
very
day ever,
cool.
you know.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was. But then I
Yeah.
got off Twitter, so
Yeah.
and then
That's fair.
I lost all those followers. But but yeah, that was really great, and that was when I think Cody became my favorite wrestler that day because I was like, anybody that loves Cisco as much as I do, that's it, you know.
Yeah.
And I shoot for the stars, but I tried to get him on here. I've sent the request,
That'd be
and
awesome.
oh yeah,
I think with the WWE, it might be hard to get that through sometimes.
yeah,
But hey, you
I
never know.
never
Cross your
know.
fingers.
I've reached out. I'll see what I can, what miracle can I pull off. I pulled off a couple of miracles that people haven't even seen yet. So, I've got some people on here, but yeah, I'm hopeful. I'd like to just talk to him Star Trek just for an hour straight. We could talk Cisco. But speaking of Cody, I saw your dog. You got a
Yep.
dog. Tell me about your
Yep.
dog, because that's a I, I, I w- I assume you're a huge Cody fan for that.
We were bigger Cody fans before. Not gonna lie, we don't watch quite as much wrestling as we used to, but we are big Cody fans in this house. When he's a 13-and-a-half-year-old border collie, we rescued him right before COVID, October 2019. We rescued him, um, and his name was Dakota, which I didn't like, and Diana didn't like it. I always said when I get my next animal, our next dog, we were going to name a Ryder. Obviously, as a big Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder fan, that was always my goal. But him being so old, we didn't really want to change his name too much because we didn't know how he would react to it. And so we figured his name was Dakota. Dakota to Cody wasn't a hard transition, and he took to it no problem. I mean, he got it right away. So it was just easier to go to Cody because obviously that was right at the beginning of AEW. We were giant AEW fans, still are big AEW fans. So it was like Cody's our guy. Anyway, we always loved Cody. Cody with Pharaoh always made a lot of sense. So it would just seem like, well, I can't do Ryder, but I can do Cody, which is Jack Ryder's best friend. So it worked out.
There
We're
you
very happy
go.
about it. And we love Cody. He's an amazing dog. He's 13 and a half, smart as hell. And he is the best thing in my life besides Diana. Can I say?
I've definitely had time to study your dog with all the pictures you've sent me where you've wanted things done, and I've looked at his face for a very long time. So he's a cute
Your
little
work
dog.
was
I'll give him that
amazing.
much.
Yeah. Yeah, he was
I
great. Yeah. I love the you did a tattoo for me and well attempted to do one for me and I love the work you did and it was amazing but the problem was the size I wanted it just the artist was like it just won't work the way you
Yeah.
want it to for this because I don't know if you can see it now but I did end up getting a Cody tattoo. It's a watermelon with a paw
Yep.
print on it and his name. Um, but because I only wanted it a certain size, and she was like, "Yes, it's not going to work if you go any smaller." So, unfortunately, I still have it. I still have the picture, and I may use it
Yeah.
for something else. But unfortunately, it couldn't work for the tattoo. But I really appreciated all your help with that stuff.
No, it's fine. That's speaking of Cody and Matt Cardona. I still had up until early December, I still had that art that I had done for you of the always there when I did
Oh yeah,
when I did that, and that was still on my phone. But I bought a new phone. I had had the other one for over 5 years, so I bought a new phone, and I didn't transfer everything, and I was
uh,
wiping everything, and I went, oh shit, just like it hit me, and like I lost a lot of things. But
I'm pretty sure I still have it actually somewhere.
I
I think I
always
ended
thought.
up posting it somewhere.
Did you? I didn't know if that
I
would
think
go
so.
into copyright infringement or
Nah.
not. But I was gonna say that would have been a great shirt for when you go to the podcast. So
Yeah, I think I did it. I posted it for some. I posted it like going to one of the shows. I think I posted in the group somewhere for that. Because at the time, Diana and I think we still actually have the record of the going to the most live shows of anybody We went to 18 of, I think now it's like 22.
Really? Wow.
We missed all the ones last year because we didn't feel like going to Las Vegas for WrestleMania, and there was the one in Boston, and they always do one in the summer in Boston. We I
Yeah,
couldn't get off from work because they do it on a Sunday, which makes sense for them as independent wrestlers and stuff. They need their weekends to work, so they always do stuff on like Sundays. So I just couldn't get off from work on the Monday, so we weren't able to go.
I get
But
it. I get it. I now you have a bit of a history when it comes to independent wrestling, don't you?
a little bit, yeah, a little bit. Uh, Back in the late '90s, I did train to wrestle, and I realized, yeah, this sucks. So I decided to become a manager. I did manage a lot. I did everything in the business except actually wrestle. Although I did wrestle one match, but as a manager, it was a six-man tag match with me and two of the guys I managed against another manager and two of his guys. But I did do a lot. I booked shows and promoted shows, and I was a referee and a manager. Did a lot of different stuff in the business, and it was a lot of fun. And
Oh
then
yeah, yeah.
I got out of it for a while, and then in the early mid 2000s, late 2000, it was like sorry, oh 08, oh 09, something like that. We got back into it for a while, and we were helping run shows and do stuff, and that's when I did a lot of like booking and stuff and promoting, and then eventually just all the places I was working for, they were all small independent stuff outside of Philly or around Philly, and they all just kind of folded up, and I didn't pursue it any more than that. And now I'm just happy watching it. And
No, I completely get it. I did about the same thing around 2004. I was doing camera operating for EWF out
you
of Marion, Indiana,
told me
and
that. That's right. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I was there all the time. I got plenty of pictures of everybody coming through. Greg Valentine, Buff
That's
Bagwell,
cool.
and then stopped for a while. Then around 2000, it was 2012 when I moved where I'm living currently. I got an offer to run camera for SWI Wrestling down out of Sydney,
Okay.
Ohio, and I worked there for a while. The with oh goodness gracious, he's running Raw now. Um, Adam Pierce,
Oh,
because
okay. Yeah,
it was an outlet from
yeah.
NWA. It was an
There you go.
offshoot.
Okay.
So he was NWA World Champion at the time, and
Oh, wow.
I got a really good video I love where my son was down by the ring and he's holding the camera and trying to get this really good like looking up shot at him and he goes to kick him in the face. And I was like, that's such a good shot. I love it so much.
That's awesome.
I'll send it to you sometime.
Yes,
It's worth
please.
seeing. But
Yeah, it's the one thing I regret is I don't have a lot of back when in the 90s and the 2000s, like when people came by, you didn't take pictures like that. So I have like very few pictures of like any of my friends from back then or any of the bigger names I worked with. And a lot of and most of it's on videotape, and I have some of it, but I don't have all of it. And I don't have a VCR anymore, and getting his stuff transferred over is not as easy as you think it would be. And
yeah,
so, unfortunately, and none of it seems to live on YouTube that I can find or anywhere really on the internet. So, it's kind of a lost time in wrestling because these companies didn't have the money to put into it a lot of times. So, it was all taped, but who knows where a lot of that stuff lives if it lives at all nowadays. It's a
yeah. Oh
shame, but
no, you're 100% right. There's like the stuff that I did and I recorded, I have digitally. I kept it backed up, but a lot of it's
that's good.
raw, like no edits to it.
Yeah.
Um, the and pictures like I would take pictures of the talent because I would do the posters for the events. So I would
Gotcha.
need to get pictures with them. Um, my favorite one was Necro Butcher. I got to meet
Yeah.
Necro
Okay.
Butcher and I needed one of him bleeding. And we were back in the locker room, and he's like, "Oh, I forgot to get blood." And I was like, "He's like, hold on." He grabs a fork and he starts jamming it into his forehead, and does it the hard way. And I was like,
Yeah, that
"My
sounds
poor
about right.
kid." My kid was 11 years old. He's sitting next to me, just looking in care. Yeah, but uh, but yeah, good pictures. I got great
Yeah, I
pictures.
bet. I met him one time. He seemed like a nice guy. I only met him once, very
Oh
briefly.
yeah,
He seemed like a nice dude, but yeah, yeah. It's a lot of great times back then. But it was a long time ago now, and just kind of I reflect upon it every now and again. I think about it, I'm like, oh yeah. Or something will come up on Facebook in a memory or something. Like, oh yeah, I did that at some point.
That's
And
my favorite part about Facebook anymore, the memories.
yeah, yeah, it's true. The sad part is a lot of this stuff happened before even Facebook, so I don't even have a lot of that stuff. Like the probably the biggest name I ever managed was Abdul the Butcher.
Oh,
Uh, it was a hell of a night too, because like the promoter called me and was like, "Hey, I want you to manage Abdul the Butcher." I'm like, "Really? Okay, that's awesome, sure." And we did a show at a college in Pennsylvania, and he's like, "Yeah, I need you to pick him up from the airport and take him to the show, and then take him back to the airport the next day." I'm like, and I'm a young kid. I'm like, "Yeah, sure, sounds great. $150." Like, all right, great. That's a ton of money. Sure. And so my brother drove, and it was Diana and me. We picked him up from the Lehigh Valley Airport. This was before like GPS and Google's, like there was MapQuest and we had the directions, but my
and you
brother
had to
was
print them out.
terrible. Yeah. And my
Yeah.
brother was terrible with directions. This was 98, 99, and like he wasn't listening with the directions. And we were out in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. And we got super lost. We got Abby, and that was fine. We ended up getting to the show like 20 minutes before we went on, and like, he was awesome about the whole thing. He didn't give a he didn't care at all. Like we had a good time. He was telling stories in the car, and so I don't remember any of them now, but we had a real good time. And then we worked our match, and it was like a 5 minute nothing match. But like the crowd, like, it was probably the biggest crowd I ever worked in front of. It was like 2,000, 3,000 people.
Wow.
It was at a college. It was a college show on a Friday
Yeah.
night or Saturday night. So it was like it was packed. It was great. And then we went to the hotel that the promoter booked a hotel for everybody for the night, and there was a bar there. And Abdullah can drink. Uh, he could put it away. He really enjoyed drinking. I mean, but he was buying drinks for everybody and having a great time. And he told Diana not to marry me. She didn't listen. Uh, she should have, but she didn't. But no, it was an amazing night. Then we went. We didn't even end up going to our rooms. We just got right back in the car and just drove back to the airport. Because by the time we like finished at the bar and stuff, it like his flight was like the first one in the morning. So we just went back to the airport and hung out there for a while, and it was an amazing night. But it was like nothing from it. I have a videotape of it, but that's like it. Like, but it's like no proof of it. There's no picture. I didn't have any pictures with him. Like, it's a shame now, but like it was a hell of a night.
I've never met Abdul the Butcher, unfortunately, or even seen him live. Um, Sometimes though, I will say though, like I specifically remember, and I'm going to be nice. I'm not going to mention who it was, but there was a wrestler that was working the EWF, and we ended up going to a strip club that night after the shows, and I didn't pay for anything. I didn't have to pay for anything
That's
that night, and
a good night.
it was a good night. And thankfully there are no pictures, there are no videos because
It's a good thing.
some bad things happen. But
I bet.
yeah, and those you talk about like no Facebook memories. Those are the MySpace memories. I remember my, and I went like I can't tell you how many things I lost on there. Like
Yeah.
when that thing shut down. But now we're old. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're old.
Yep.
But speaking of old, we're both old enough to remember the greatest American hero. And I'm really curious, what really brought you into loving the greatest American hero?
See, so so there's a little bit of a downer story to be aware. Just
Oh, no, hey, we're
but
all about crying.
yeah. So I'm actually a little young for Greatest American Hero. I'll be 48 this year, so I'm a little young as far as Greatest American Hero fandom goes. But when I was 5 years old, my father was a psychiatrist, so he sometimes worked at home, sometimes went to an office or whatever. I don't know much about it. I was a kid, um, but when I would come home, I went to uh, half day kindergarten where I live for whatever reason. I don't know if they still do it or not, but they had like AM PM kindergarten, and I was in the morning kindergarten, so I would come home by lunchtime. So my father and I would eat lunch together, and we would watch Greatest American Hero. I don't know if he liked the show. I don't know if it was something or it just happened to be on, but I remember watching it with him frequently, and this was in 1980, 83, 84, 80, something like that. And I'm old. And my father passed away in 87. And so it's one of the few good memories I have with my father because I was young and my parents' relationship was not wonderful. And so I don't have a ton of great memories from him. And then he died so young anyway, when I was so young anyway. And Grace American Hero wasn't something I really thought about for a while. And then like as I got older, like you'd see it on TV, and I'm like, oh, I remember watching that with dad and whatever, and I'd watch it with my brother, and like I enjoyed the show when I saw it later. Then it eventually, like the internet happened, and finding clips on YouTube or on whatever, and eBay, and like, oh wow, I remember that show. It was one of my. It's a show I really liked when I was a kid. It was like I said, it was one of the few good memories I remembered having with my father. So it just kind of became like a coalescence of my relationship with my father. And like, not like I said, there was nothing like I don't even know if he even liked the show, if it would just happened to be something that was on at the time. But I just remember watching it with him and having a good time, and like that's a good memory. And it just kind of became a thing for me. And then one of the first things we ever I ever bought on eBay, Diana bought me a lighter with the Greatest American Hero on it. Not licensed, not a real item. It's right here up there. Like, you can't see it, but like it's just like a thing that Diana found and bought. It's the first thing we ever bought on eBay in
Hmm.
what, oh three, oh four, something like that, probably, oh two. And it just became a thing. Like whenever I'd see something I'd buy, and there's not much to see or buy, but I just fond memories of being a child. And
Well,
like I remember playing on the playground and stuff. Sorry, guy.
you you have a vast collection. I like your Instagram page that you have up for that, which I'll put on the screen for everybody to see.
Thank you. I
Uh,
appreciate that.
is just an amazing collection. I love going through it and seeing what
Thanks.
you have. And for me, like I love the show too. I'll be 49 this year, so
Okay.
I under same age bracket,
Yep.
as it were. And like when I was growing up watching it, it was I didn't have the connection with my father for it. I actually I love that. I love that you have that because it's something that you're able to connect to your father and remember him. That's
Yeah.
great. I do dig that. I think for me that would have been the A team. I remember watching the A team with my dad a lot. But but the but yeah, honestly, Greatest American Hero always stuck with me too. And I remember that being one of the first things like I mean, well, hell, the first time I ever heard your name, and then in reference to that, I was like, okay, I have to know everything about Johnny Cisco. And it's like,
Probably the
I was
fun
like,
cast would be my guess, right?
yeah, well,
Right,
probably
Sully.
that or a conversation with Corgi.
Ah,
And
yeah, that's fair.
I think because then you and I think it was you and Corgi were at Starcast too, and then I
Yep.
ended up. I don't know if I got your cards or if I got his cards from that, but I got a deck of the cards from the
Mm,
event. Um,
probably him. Yeah, because
Probably
Diana
it
and I
was.
went, and yeah, Corgi and Diana, his Diana,
Yeah.
she came out later, but Corgi came out and hung out with us, and like he didn't even care about wrestling. But I was like, yeah, we're going to Vegas to go to this wrestling thing, and he's like, oh, I'll come hang out, and like he did, and like I say, he didn't care about wrestling, but he had a real good time going to Starcast with us and wandering around and meeting the people and seeing the weird stuff that us wrestling fans get into, and it was fun, like him being there, because like a lot of the people we didn't know either, because this was Starcast too, like you said, it's the
Yeah.
very beginning of AEW. So
Well,
like
actually, right before AEW. I
it
mean,
was
it
Double
was,
or Nothing.
yeah,
It
it was
was it
like,
was it was for
yeah.
Double or
Oh,
Nothing. The
was it?
first the
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the cards, everybody that was on in the cards was like pre AEW. Like,
Yep. Oh
there's
yeah, yeah,
such
yeah.
the amount of people that were there that were not signed were
Yep.
amazing. Yes, but
It
that
was crazy. Like we were walking around, and like all these people like $5, $10 autographs, and we didn't get a lot of them because we didn't really know them at the time. Like I talked to Darby Allen for like 5 minutes. I had no idea who he was, but like
hmm,
he had a cool look, and like of course now he's Darby Allin. He's
yeah,
amazing, and I love Darby. But like, and like we were talking to like Jungle Boy, because like Diana loves 90210, and she found out that he's Luke Perry's son. It was like, so she talked to him for a couple minutes, and I forget who else we talked to there. Like Marco was there, Marco Stunt, and like
yeah.
all these guys that became names in AEW for like later on. But like at that time, they were nobody knew who any of them were really, and it was just
Yeah,
crazy to walk around there and think about it now.
yeah, it was an amazing lineup. I mean, Scott Hall
Yeah.
was there. I think that was one of his
Yep.
last appearances, and
We met him.
um,
Yep.
yeah. So yeah, I'm always thankful. The cards I'm looking over to my left, I can see them.
That's
They're
cool.
they're on my shelf. I keep them in a place of reverence. But yeah, that was. But yeah, when I found out you were a Greatest American Hero fan, I was like, all right,
Yeah.
I gotta talk Greatest American Hero. The funniest Greatest
Anytime.
American Hero story I have is I remember being deathly afraid of one episode, like to the point that it gave me nightmares. It
I
wasn't
bet I know
until
which one.
oh, which one? Because if there's
Beast in
actually
the Black.
two, huh?
Beast in the Black.
Are we talking about the wall where
Yep.
yeah, yeah, it's the one. Yeah, yeah. And then
For sorry, guy.
no, I was gonna say that scared the crap out of me, man. And then there was another one, but then I found out it wasn't an episode. It was actually the movie House.
Oh,
I just
okay.
growing up, I thought that was an episode of the show because oh, that's William Cat. It must be Greatest American Hero.
That
But
makes sense.
yeah, yeah. But
Yeah, Beast in the Black, like it's funny, like for a long time I hated that episode. It was always my least favorite episode. And I don't remember that one when I was a kid. Like the thing about when I watched with a kid as a kid, I don't remember episodes. I just remember like his crazy flying and the instruction booklet and like the comic-y stuff. I remember a lot of that stuff, but like I don't remember episodes and stuff like that. Obviously, I watched it a lot of times since then. So like I never liked Beast in the Black. And then the last couple of years, like rewatching again, I was like, it's actually a really good episode. It's just I think the problem is it's just so very different than the other ones. And like the
yeah,
way they did it, it was just such a weird episode that didn't quite fit in. And now I know more about the show. I understand kind of why that happened, but like because it was like part of like the network wanting more of like a monster of the week type of thing. And Stephen J. Cannell didn't want to really do that. So like this was kind of like him like acceding to their wishes a little bit, and it was
yeah.
just a weird episode. And he wanted to do a horror thing, and that's fine. Like it just, but I've kind of come around on that episode a lot, and it's not. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites, but it's definitely a fun episode. And
It's funny. I'll go on. I'm sorry.
yeah, I was gonna say one funny thing about the house thing you made that you thought it was an episode, and what's funny is so William Cat starred in House, obviously,
Yeah.
and his co-star was George Wendt, and in 2018 they were going to do a reboot of The Greatest American Hero with Hannah Simone from New Girl
Oh.
as the hero. I did post a picture. She posted on Instagram. She finally posted a picture of her costume,
Oh,
which
really?
I posted on I believe I posted on Instagram. Might have been Facebook. If I didn't post on Instagram, I will have to. I can send you the picture. I have it still saved on my phone because you never know, might be useful.
Yeah.
And the funny part is the FBI agent that was going to work with her was going to be played by George Wendt.
Really? That would have
So
been great.
yeah, it would have been good. And then he went on and passed away, unfortunately. But he did film. They did film a pilot, and I've read the script for the pilot, but no one's ever seen the actual shot pilot. Unfortunately, I tried to find it. People I know who know more about things than I do, they tried to find it, but the script wasn't bad. I mean, some people were like, "Oh, it's terrible," but I thought it was fine. I mean, it's a pilot, so you gotta take that for what you will.
I do remember there being some backlash about her casting, and I
Yep,
was okay with it. I was a big fan of New Girl, and I always liked the
yep,
CC
me too.
character on New Girl.
Yep.
I even had her Funko Pop, so it was like,
So do I.
um, but and tangentially, that's a Greatest American Hero Pop now.
Yeah,
But which
sure.
is funny because when I was talking to my wife before we started all this, I was telling her like she's like, "Oh, you got the comic out?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "This is very literally the only piece of merchandise I have." She says, "Well, what about a pop?" And I said, "Oh no, there's
Mm,
never been a pop." And I said, "Don't you remember all the
yep,
times Johnny's been asking for pops over the years? I mean, come on. Every comment, it's like, what should we make? Greatest American
yep.
Hero, Greatest American Hero."
Uh, For the record, it's not just Funko. I bother NECA. I bother Super Seven. I make the rounds. Like I always like, especially around con time. I'll make a post about it. Just you never know who will see what. I've talked to Randy Falk about from NECA,
Yeah.
the head of NECA. He's a huge Greatest American Hero fan. I actually got to watch him talk to William Cat at a con while wearing a Greatest American Hero T-shirt. While I was standing there talking to Matt Cardona. It was quite a day.
I I
But
I I remember when you saw them, you had the picture of both of them together with you, which
yep.
I'm gonna put on the screen for everybody right now.
Oh, that is
But
one of my favorite pictures.
yeah, that's I mean that honestly that's kind of like a college thesis, It's like the ability to bring two things together and figure out the common denominator for it. Um, but yeah, the
World's
I
most
like.
expensive photo op.
There you go. But I
Well,
like that one.
we
I
paid
like.
to bring we brought Matt in to the it was a con called RetroCon near us in Oaks, Pennsylvania.
Hmm.
It's a great con. It's a really good little vintage toy con, and William Cat was going to be there. And I'm talking to Diana. I'm talking to my friend Eamon, who's I met through the Major Pod group, the Facebook group, and we're talking. I'm like, man, if I could get Matt to come in to get a picture with William Cat. How amazing would that be? And it just like talking to Eamon, he's like, "Oh, I wonder how much Matt would be." And like he's got he's got a better relationship with Matt than I do. Like he's actually done work for Matt for the podcast stuff. So like we talked to Matt and he told us his rate, and we're like, we can do this. And we did it. We like Eamon and we went half on it and we brought him in. He was doing an independent show locally that night. So was able to like piggyback off of that. So we didn't have to pay for his flight.
Well, that
We paid
helps.
for his like rental car. We didn't have to pay for his hotel because he was already coming in anyway. So like we just paid his fee. We got him there. We walked around the con with him a little bit, which was a lot of fun. Uh, and yeah, I got to have the world's most expensive photo op to get him and William Cat together. And like them meeting each other was like, I wish that there's no video of it, unfortunately, because we were all kind of like, it kind of happened a little bit. Like we all knew it was going to happen, but it was just finding the time to do it. And it kind of happened so quickly. But like, so like Diana took the picture, but like she didn't think about recording like the lead up or anything like that.
Yeah.
And it was just funny because like William Cat has no idea who Matt is. Matt has no idea who William Cat is other than what I've told him. Excuse me. And like we had to wait in line a little bit because like there was a couple people ahead of us to meet William Cat. So I Matt Cardona is standing in line with me to meet this guy, and he has no idea who he is. And it's just like it's a funny thing. I'm introducing him like, hey, he's a very famous pro wrestler. He's a television actor, movie actor, whatever. And like they both were amazingly cool about the whole situation, but it was just the craziest thing to happen. And it's probably one of the coolest things that's ever happened, just being able to do that and get that picture. And I have Eamon made a logo for me, which is the logo I use for the Instagram of the Greatest American Hero logo coming out of a skull,
Yeah.
and it's that's Matt's logo is the skull. We call it the Broski skull, and I'm sure you know, but
Yeah.
like. And Eamon made this for me, and so I have it on a T-shirt, which is the shirt I'm wearing in the picture. But I also have a 8x10 print of it, and I got them both to sign that. And I had the picture, and Eamon actually made me a card. I don't know if you can see it up here. It's the same picture you're going to post, but Eamon likes making cards, so he made that
Yeah.
card for me.
Well, that's awesome.
But yeah, it was quite an amazing experience and a lot of fun to be able to pull that off. And not a money making venture, but it wasn't for the money. It was just to have a good time, and we all got something out of it. Even Eamon did, so it was a good time.
That's an amazing memory, nonetheless. I mean,
Yeah.
that's sometimes you can't really put a price on memories,
No.
which, as much as I hate to say it, that is a song. But anyway, and I do see you have an amazing collection of Transformers behind you as well.
Yeah.
That I've been sitting there looking at Devastator and Blaster and a couple of the
Yep.
others I see in there, and I'll go, and those are original. Those are OG figures.
No, they're not.
Really?
Unfortunately, no. So Diana is funny. Everything revolves with about me and Diana. We've been together a very long time. For a very long time, she hated Transformers, hated it because when she was a kid, she
Is
had
it
a
Michael
cut.
Bay's fault? It's Michael
No,
Bay's
no,
fault, right?
actually, no, it's not. No, she likes those movies. Actually,
What?
funny, and they're fine. Which you'll understand in a second. When she was a kid, she had a cousin who's like I think like 4 or 5 years older than her. So for one of his birthdays, he took they went to see the Transformers the movie, the '86 movie. And it was her and like all his friends. Like she didn't know any of them. She wasn't friends with any of them. She was way younger than them. And she hated it. It was a terrible experience for her all over. And so she hated Transformers for a very long time. And so I always collected one Transformer. I always collected Skywarp. Uh,
Fascinating.
another correlation to my father. Don't need to get into that whole thing, but because of my father, I collected Skywarp, and then so I collected that, and I had a bunch of different Skywarps, but like I never went too crazy with it because I knew she really didn't like Transformers, and we collected enough other stuff that I was like, all right, I can give up on this one thing. Then the Netflix show happened, the 3 seasons of the Netflix show, and she loved it. She fell in love with it. She was like, "This is amazing." I was like, "Yes, it is." It's a really good show. If you haven't watched it, I recommend everybody go check out the 3 seasons on Netflix. It's a really, really good show.
I've
And it's
seen it. I liked how
basically,
it tied into Beast Wars.
yep. Now,
Mm.
see, that's where they kind of lost me with that stuff, but I came around on it. Because I was never a Beast Force fan. Because by the time that happened, I was too old, and that animation hurt my eyes, and I just was like, "Oh, this is awful." And
No, no, I get you. I get you. The only thing that really got me on Beast Wars was the connection to Starscream and how like his spirit existed after being destroyed by Galvatron,
yeah,
and and stuff. And I was like, well, how is this possible? And then in a way, the Netflix show kind of retroactively made that work because of the
yeah,
timey-wimey crap to it. But
yes,
continue.
I didn't
I'm
know
sorry.
any of that stuff. No, no, it's okay. Like I didn't know any of that stuff. I didn't know the lore. I saw a few episodes of the animation. I'm like, "Oh, this is awful," and I just never watched it. Like I said, I kind of a little old. I kind of grew out of it at that point. Um, but yeah, so like when the Netflix show happened, she was like, "This is amazing. I want Transformers." I'm like, "Well, okay, sure." So these are all from the Netflix show. All these up
Okay.
here is all Netflix related, and then we have more in the back room. We have more back there. These are all from the '86 because then I got her to sit down and watch the '86 movie, and she was
Mm.
like, "Wow, this is a great friggin' movie." I'm like, "Yes, yes, it is." She was like, "We should get some of these." I'm like, "Okay, sure." And that's about the time they started putting out the studio series, '86 studio series.
Yeah.
So that's what these are all '86 studio series. Uh,
I like that
so are
Starscream.
these. Yeah, that's the Coronation Starscream. That's also
Yeah.
'86 studio. There's more behind. I don't know how well you can see. I don't want to.
Oh,
So
that's
that's
fine. Oh,
all
okay. I see
all
Galvatron.
86. Yep. So that's all '86 stuff down here, '86 stuff here, and then that's all Netflix up there. I don't know if you can see
Sweet.
it up top, but there's a Mega Supreme is up there.
No, I can't see
Um,
him. But that's like you can't really see mine. I have a Unicron above
oh,
here. I'll move the camera up, and you can see Unicron peeking up there at the top.
hold on, I'm looking. Oh yeah. Oh, the pop. Okay, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I have that. Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
That's a
That's
great pop.
oh yeah. It's one of the only Transformer pop I still have. I end up selling off all the other ones. We needed a new couch.
Hey,
But
that's fair. I don't. I used to have a few more of the Transformer pops. I was kind of like you have kind of gotten rid of them because it kind of became a point of like I was able to get the Transformer pop because like she didn't like Transformers, but it's pops. We already collect pops, as you're aware of our collect some of our collection. Like we have a lot of pops, not as much as we used to, but like that was our big collection for a long time. So I was like, well, they're pops. We collect pops. So I was able to get Transformers that way. And then once we started collecting these, and kind of the same thing, same problem I have with like some of our wrestling stuff and some of our Marvel stuff. It's how many versions of the same character, how many form factors of the same character do you need, really?
yeah, no, I
So we
get you.
kind of, yeah. So like some of her Marvel pops, she's got because she used to go like real hard in the Marvel, the MCU pops, and she still has like hundreds of them. But then she started collecting Marvel Legends, and then she started collecting Iron Studio statues, which you can't see, but they're down there.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, yeah, and then I was with wrestling stuff. I was like, all right, well, how many different pops and wrestling figures? And now I have Major Bendies and Big Rubber Guys and Zombie Sailor figures and all these other companies and Mattel figures. I'm like, well, I'd rather have those than have the pops right now because we kind of stopped. We didn't stop collecting pops, but we don't buy as many as we used to.
We definitely like
And
the we do the zombie sailor quite often as well. I mean,
yeah,
if they do a Danhausen, we've got to pick up the Danhausen.
oh, I know
And
you're a Danhausen fan.
well, that's
Yeah.
my wife. That is actually my wife is the big Danhausen
Okay.
fan. She if it's Danhausen, we have like we have every Danhausen figure that has been made so far. If
Wow. That's
so
a lot of figures. They
yes it
just
is.
announced some new ones. I just seen on Facebook. There's some new ones coming.
Oh
I'll send you
really?
some links. Yeah, I know. I love Danhausen also. Well, you might be happy. Well, I don't know. You may not be. I don't know how much WWE you watch, but there's a good rumor that he's going to end up in WWE before the end of this year,
Yeah,
I
well,
think.
we've kind of figured that. I mean, the writing's on the wall. He's only been used twice in the last 3 years from AEW, which is,
Yeah.
yeah, that's I don't get that, but and that's fine. He goes there. There's one positive. We're gonna get a Funko Pop.
You're gonna get
So
a lot of stuff.
yeah, yeah, I'm sure we are, but and we'll be picky. We probably won't buy
Yeah.
everything, but
No, yeah, yeah, yeah.
When it comes to action figures, wrestling figures, and stuff, and this is gonna be a good question for you. Here's a question. I'm gonna tell you my answer, but then I'm gonna want you to give me your answer. And my answer
Sure.
is, okay, what is one wrestling line that you think, like, if you could erase one wrestling figure line, what would it be? And I'll tell you my answer. Mine is the zombies line. WWE zombies, simply because I look at some of them and I think how maybe they didn't think about the future, but like I look at Bray Wyatt zombie and I was like, maybe I
Okay.
don't really want a dead body of, a guy that was beloved. And I kind of look at that and it works for the Undertaker. I understand what they're getting with the Bray Wyatt, but I always say I look back on that and I think, no, if I could get rid of that one, I'd erase that one. But what about you? Has there ever been one that bothered you?
See, I honestly no. Like, I understand what you're saying with the zombies. I actually kind of enjoyed that line when they did it because they also did a monsters one at the same a little around that time, and that was kind of fun too. Um, Honestly, like though, I didn't like the bendies. I always thought they were kind of dumb.
Hmm,
Uh, the WCW they did a grip and flips or these like magnetic things that just kind of spun around. They were
I remember
dumb.
those.
WWE also did something similar to that. I have a Zack Ryder one on the wall back there. But yeah, I mean, I honestly I was never a big fan of bendies. That's probably about it. Like, 'cause I think everything has its place to some extent. Because it's either like people making the Hasbro figures now, which are nostalgic, like Zombie Sailor, or there's or I mean, or the big rubber guys. Like I love the LJN figures. Like I didn't realize how much I mean, I knew like those were the figures I had growing up. Like I had Hasbro figures, like you did, but like I don't have them. Like even though I had probably more of those and I had them for longer, I don't remember playing with those as much as I remember playing with the LJN figures, the big rubber ones.
Yeah.
So like when Matt and Brian Myers they started Major and they started putting out the big rubber guys, which you can't see them, but hold on, let me grab one. They are these amazing figures in the LJN style, and they're made in the same kind of material and the same kind of stuff. But they're amazingly detailed, and they look phenomenal with better
Oh
paint
yeah.
jobs than LJNs ever could. I don't know how well it's coming across, but like,
Oh,
and
looks great. Everything looks
the shorter
great.
pads come off of Hawk, and like so like they've made some amazing characters. They just fill in the line and make it and like these like every time I get these, like it just makes me so happy. It's like so like I don't and like but I look at people who like Matt loves the bendy figures, and I'm just like I don't get it at all. But like because it wasn't a thing that I cared about. So like I wouldn't erase anything because everything has its place in some form or another. And everything makes somebody happy somewhere. Like I understand what you're saying with the zombies, and yeah, maybe upon retrospect, after some of these people have passed away, it's not the best, but I think they're made with the best of intentions at the time, and you can only plan for so much. But I understand what you're
Yeah.
saying. You're not wrong, but
Well, maybe
I think like I
erased
said,
was maybe erased was too harsh of a phrase, but
no, I
but
mean, like I said, I understand what you mean. I understand your point. I don't sorry. I don't fault anybody for what they made at the time. I think the sculpts on those and like the way they did them are amazing. Like the figures are really, really cool figures. They're just but I understand what you're saying. And upon retrospect and everything ages with time, right? I mean
yeah.
it's inevitable at some point something like that's gonna go badly. But it's I understand what you're saying. I mean, I was a big fan of Bray Wyatt and it's a shame what happened. And like I could see why a zombie figure would be a little disheartening to a person who's a really big fan of his, even a small fan of his. Like I can understand that, but like I guess I don't know. I never really thought about it that way, but I
Hmm.
don't know. I like I said, my least favorite line was probably something like the Bendies. At the time, I thought they were stupid. And then like I said, the grip and flips and some of that stuff, like because even things like the maximum sweat figures, which were these really like jacked. I don't know if you remember those at
Oh,
all, but they were like
I
these
still have my Billy Gunn.
there you go. Like incredibly jacked up figure
Yep.
that you put water into and it sweats. It's like it's a dumb figure. It's a dumb idea, but like they're just like really kind of crazy that they're almost like cool to me in a way. I don't collect them, but like I can appreciate them from a distance.
It's odd. I'm not the biggest Billy Gunn fan, but I have more Billy Gunn figures than I think anybody else. I have the Maximum Sweat, and then behind me up on the top shelf, I have a, Billy Gunn 1 of 3,000 chase from AEW I found
Okay,
in the
very
wild. And
cool.
I was like, I gotta have
Wow.
this. I had never found a chase in the wild like that. So, but yeah, and then I remember Maximus Sweat. The one line I always really loved was the WCW Galoob line. I
Okay,
had
yeah.
I had the Steiners, I had Sting, I had Flair, Arn Anderson. I was always I am a huge Arn Anderson fan. Like if you were to say like who's your favorite wrestler, and I'd say from the '80s it was always Arn Anderson, '90s Arn Anderson, the
Okay.
best spine buster in the business as far as I'm concerned.
Sure. Sure. Sure.
But so I have a very eclectic grouping of favorites. So and
Hey,
you know,
my three favorites are completely crazy compared to each other, right? I can understand what you're saying.
yeah. Well, who are your three favorites?
Not in order necessarily anymore, but it'd be the Ultimate Warrior, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and Matt Cardona. It's like
Oh, there you go. Well, see,
Ricky
Warrior,
Steamboat
I
and the
understand.
Warrior, like
I get Warrior. I get Warrior. I was a big
sure.
Warrior fan when I was a kid. He was every kid's favorite colorful guy. I get
Yep.
that. I would say that he's problematic in his older years, but whatever, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
But
yeah, that was a problem, but he did at least there is record of him apologizing and
oh yeah,
kind of coming around from some of his more unlikable views, one might say. Uh,
it's a good way of being diplomatic about that.
yeah,
Um,
he had his views, but apparently he has kind of changed his ways in his later years, and we know that he was able to at least make amends with Hogan and some of the other people, and that wronged him or that he wronged,
yeah,
and at least he died in the best way he could have, which was, and it was a very incredibly sad day, but like at least
yeah.
he got to make amends before it happened.
Yeah, that whole
And
weekend
that,
is weird in retrospect. I mean,
yeah,
if you were to watch that, and like, I know wrestling is, scripted to a varying degree, and you think, okay,
yeah.
well, maybe what he said was scripted, but you can't script knowing you're gonna die.
No,
It's
no.
like,
That
man,
promo,
oh
yeah,
man,
that promo was it was an amazing promo at the time. Like I was
yeah,
watching that promo like live, and because I mean, I being a Warrior fan, I knew he was going to the Hall of Fame. So I watched everything that weekend. And I'm like, anytime he was on, and like I was tearing up watching that promo,
yeah,
and because it was an amazing promo. And then the next day to hear about it, it's like, oh man, it was like hours later he passed away. It's like it was
yeah.
awful,
It's
but yeah, it was
mind-boggling,
sad. Yeah,
mind-boggling. That's for sure. Well, Johnny, I tell you what, man, I've had you for almost 50 minutes. I want
yeah.
to start wrapping you up here a little bit, and
Eh.
I want to give you a chance to tell everybody where they can find you on socials so they can check out your amazing collection.
Yeah, it's the Greatest American Hero Collection on Instagram, all one word. On YouTube, we're Cisco's Great Adventure. Diana and I have a YouTube channel and an Instagram, also the same name, where we're not great with it because it's hard to get the motivation to editing is hard.
Oh, I know.
As I'm sure you're aware, video editing is hard and it takes a lot of time and we're lazy. But we chronicle our adventures. We've done cruises and a lot of wrestling stuff. We
Harry
try to keep
Potter.
it there's a lot of Harry Potter on there. There's a
Yeah, a
lot of
lot of Harry
wrestling
Potter.
on there. Yeah, we're big fans of Harry Potter. We go to Universal. We went to Epic in the first few weeks that it was open. Epic Universe. We went there. We have footage. We just haven't. We need to hire an editor. Is what we need to do. If you know anybody who wants to do video editing and isn't an arm and a leg, please let me
I,
know.
I
Uh,
don't even want to do it for myself, man.
I know.
Yeah,
That's a problem. Like I really want to do it, but like it just takes a lot of time and just a lot of effort. And I'm not great at it. Like I'm good at getting it cut together, but I don't make it pretty. She does a lot better making it pretty and doing it nicely, but she takes a very long time to do it because she's a perfectionist. So like mine are done and they're done decent. Like you can go through our channel on YouTube and you'll see which ones I did and which ones she did. But like
I'm
they're
not
both
playing that
really
game. I'm not falling for that. No, no.
no, it's fine. Like it's not in a bad way. Like I'm not mad about it. She's not mad about it. It's just like it's just her stuff is really good. She knows it's good. I know it's good, but she just takes forever to do it. My stuff is not as good, but I get it done quicker. But it's not as good, and I know it's not as good. And so it's like a weird catch of just trying to find a happy medium and get it all together. And then we started falling behind with like we do stuff and we don't edit it, we don't get it up, and then we do more stuff, and it just keeps piling up. So,
No, I
but
get it, man. I
that's
get
why
it.
I focus on Instagram and I do that stuff, and because that's a lot quicker, it's a lot easier, and can get stuff up a lot quicker, and people seem to enjoy it. So, I mean, we have fun on there. You are always one of our first to like and comment, which I love you for, and I appreciate it so much. Like,
Right back at you.
it's fun.
Right back at you. Same for you. I yeah, the thing is, and that's like I understand, you got to do it for fun. Like this is just fun
Yeah,
for me. I've had people say, "Oh, where's your Patreon?" I was like, "I don't have a Patreon." It's like I don't
yeah,
want your money. I just want to do this for fun. And if it gets to a point where it's not fun anymore, then it just goes away. That's how it
yeah.
goes.
That's the kind of the problem with our YouTube. Like, we love it. Like, I wouldn't mind making money on it, but like we kind of stalled out with our followers and stuff. And it's the way it goes. And because we don't do it often enough, for the algorithm doesn't like us.
Yeah.
So like even like some of our stuff, like there's a vlog that she did. She went to a thing called Lucicon, which is the TV show Lucifer. It was a
Yeah.
convention for that. And it was her and our friend Dawn. And like that thing's got like almost 2,000 views. It's our highest viewed
Yeah.
thing, but like nothing else even comes close to it. But like the vlog she did was great. And it did well and it was a lot of fun, but like it just takes so much time and just and like it's not fun doing that part of it. And that's why I like Instagram, because it's just so quick and not dirty, but not easy, but like it's
No,
easier.
no, I get it, and you don't want it to feel like a job. It's like,
Yeah,
like I love Sully, and I love watching Sully's, pod or Twitches and stuff, and his
yeah,
everything he does. But I have been there twice in the last year and a half to watch them because to me it felt like a job. It felt like I had to be there. I
yeah,
had to, and I was like, I love you, man, but I can't do this. It's like I gotta,
nah, yeah,
you know, I'll check in every now and then and give you a thumbs up, but.
yep,
And that's how I am with this. I don't want it to feel like a job. I
yeah,
want, I want to have some fun. Lucifer, you mentioned Lucifer. I don't know much about that. I know Tom Welling was on the show.
yep.
So because I'm a
See,
Smallville guy,
yeah,
so
that's true. You are a Smallville guy. Yeah, I never watched the show. I don't know very much about it. I watched her video, like the con she was at. He was there. She met him. She got his autograph. She has clips of him doing a panel. Clips of all the guys, like all the main characters, doing panels at the con. But yeah, I never watched it. She was into it. She watched it in her free time that she has that I don't have. And our friend Dawn is a big fan. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna go," and it's like an hour from us. So Diana went, and they had a great time. And but like I don't know anything about the show at all. I know that it's based on a comic that I never read, and I know that John Constantine does make an appearance in the comic. I'm a big Constantine fan and
yeah,
Hellblazer, but I know he made an appearance or two in the comic, but he's never mentioned on the show, so I didn't care.
yeah. The only reference that they got, like, do you ever watch Legend of Tomorrow?
Yep,
Because they had the guy that played Lucifer on there show up on
that's right.
Legends of Tomorrow with their version of Hellblazer.
Yep,
So that was good. It was I remember going, hey, that's the guy from the Netflix show,
yeah,
but yeah, I love Welling. I love Rosenbaum. So like anything Welling, I try to support as well, and Rosie, of course, everything he does. But we ended up getting a message from him for Christmas. He sent us
oh
a
wow,
Christmas, and I
that's really
held up,
cool.
yeah, I held my phone up to my wife, and she goes, "Is that Rosenbaum?" I was like, "Yeah." I was all right, we're gonna accept that. And I was like, out of the blue, didn't see it coming. So nice
Yeah,
guy.
that's really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can't
I've heard
complain.
that about him. I did. I never met him honestly, but like I like Smallville a lot. I was a big fan of the show, but it's just
Yeah,
I I am disappointed Tom Welling never wore the costume. I know it's a point of contention, but
kinda. I mean, the last scene, kinda.
sorta.
But yeah. No, I get you. I get you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Um.
I did enjoy the show a lot. But yeah, it's just
Yeah, I always love that
it's
one.
fun.
But yeah, you know what I'm hoping happens? I'm hoping that I boost your signal today. I hope that
Yeah,
you find
I
a lot of
appreciate
people
it.
and they're like, let's go check this out. Let's learn more about it because you got a great collection. So,
I did. I did fall off posting for a while, but I'm trying to get back to it. I don't know if you heard about. I mean, actually, I know you heard about because I know you commented or liked one of my things. But at Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con this year, there's going to be a Greatest American Hero thing happening. We don't know what it is. We don't know much about it, but they are launching a new comic.
oh
One you
sweet,
have like a whole new comic with William Katz at the helm of it, and Tawana McKiernan, who's Stephen J. Cannell's daughter. She was very instrumental in trying to get the reboot with Hannah Simone happening. She's involved with it, and they keep saying I can't get any information. I keep trying, but like there's going to be something at San Diego Comic Con about Greatest American Hero. There's going to be signings and fan events. It's the 45th anniversary. I think it's
yeah,
45. Yeah.
wow,
So yeah, yeah, we're old. But it's the 45th anniversary, so of the debut of it. So we are actually for the first time in 6 years going back to Comic Con. We haven't been there in a few years because COVID, and then just kind
yeah,
of just didn't feel like going. And it's a very expensive con to go to. But as soon as they announced Greatest American Hero, Diana, before I said a word, I told her about it. Diana's like, "Well, I guess we're going to San Diego this year." So
okay.
we got our tickets, and I'm very excited. So hopefully, any news that comes out of there, any information I can get, any merch I can get, I will be there front and center trying to get all of it. So if you do care about it, I'm gonna try and post on Instagram. I'm gonna try to do some live stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but
I
I'm
look
just
forward
real
to it.
excited.
I look
Really
forward to
excited.
it. I'll give you a little advice. If nothing else, if you don't want to worry about live streaming, because as we all know, the internet is potato in that building, just just record it and post it later. Like
Yeah.
record it. And, you're not gonna beat anybody to the punch, but you're gonna have better quality video. So,
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, definitely do some of that. We have a nice DJI camera we use for our vlogging, and then I have my iPhone. So I will be covering it as much as I possibly can, and I hope to have the best coverage out there. I don't know whatever that means, but like, I'm just hoping it's. I don't even care about the coverage to be honest. But I'm just making a joke. But I'm just really excited that there's something new is happening, and I'm very excited for it. I'm hoping that I'm hoping it takes off. I'm hoping for good stuff because I love the show. I do love the show. Like honestly, I do love the show. Clearly, I mean, I don't know if you can see I have a tattoo here, but
oh
like,
yeah,
and I listened to your interview with Brian, the artist guy, and you were talking about your tattoo of the show. I never heard of the show you had, but I was like, it's really cool because I know you know about my GH one, so I was like, that's pretty fun.
yeah.
Um, but like, yeah, I'm just really excited. So yeah, I mean, I come along for the ride. And if you want to follow, follow. If not, I understand. It's not for everybody.
I've
But
I've had a
our
couple of
guy,
people from that show on the podcast already. Well, one hasn't aired yet, but it will by the time this is being seen. And then I've reached out. I know everybody on the cast, so I'm trying to get everybody on that show eventually. And see,
that'd be
maybe
cool.
if you got to just do a one episode podcast and get William Cat. Yeah, just
Man,
do.
from your mouth to God's ears, I would love that to happen. Like, hard to get a hold of. He doesn't like doing stuff a lot.
Yeah,
I've sent messages. The problem is he has a Facebook page and he doesn't run it, but it's an official. It's run by this girl who doesn't respond to my messages either. But I mean, I'm gonna try and do so. Like I said, I have some ideas of that I would like to try and pull off over there. I just don't know how well they're gonna work out, and trying to use some contacts that I have. I know some people who know some people who might know some people, type of thing. So you never know. I'm
I
hoping for the best, but I'm real excited and.
I'm hoping that it's a big announcement and you can say, believe it or not, look what happened. I want
There
I
you
want to
go.
I want to see that. All right, Johnny, I appreciate
Yes.
this. I've
Sorry.
enjoyed this entire time with you. I'm going to have you stick around with me for a couple of minutes after I stop recording, so don't leave me yet. But
Okay.
um, but yeah, I've totally enjoyed this, and I appreciate your time and telling me your stories and everything else. And everybody, please go check out Greatest American Hero Collection on Instagram. Check out Cisco's adventures on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and everywhere else. Go follow them. All the links are down below and on screen. You can see them right there. So, and then go check them out. I appreciate it. So, but thank
Thanks for
you,
so much for
Johnny.
having me, man. This
Oh
has been
yeah,
awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate
uh,
it.
you're very welcome. It was a pleasure talking to you.